Today I'm going to be answering one of the biggest questions in life, something everyone has been wondering. Was Fanboy and Chum Chum actually awful? I remember seeing this show as a kid and it kind of became an urban legend, this show that you should never watch because it was so abysmally awful. And so with this brand new series where I explore shows that I never really gave a chance, what better show to take a look at than Fanboy and Chum Chum? I'm going to be taking a look at two of the best reviewed episodes, two of the worst reviewed episodes, and two random episodes to give it the verdict of if it was actually good, if it was actually bad. Is it a hidden gem? Is it something that I should have watched a million times over? That's the question we're going to be answering today. And if you like content just like this, please make sure to like and subscribe. At 30k, I'm going to be cosplaying as Muscle Man and doing a hot dog eating contest. And if you want a place where you can talk about your favorite games, movies, shows, give me video ideas, share art, share your pets, there's a gaming channel in there. My Discord will be in the description. Now let's answer the question, is Fanboy and Chum Chum actually awful? If you want the simple answer and you don't care about a rant, yes. Yes, it is. I have finished watching the 6 episodes that are chosen here, and starting off with the best reviewed episode in the entire show, Brain Freeze, you would think that, okay, you know, this is the best reviewed episode, it's gotta at least be a little bit good, right? No. It's abysmal, it's horrendous, and I don't know how a 30-year-old man, whoever was really working on this, could go to work and clock out at the end of the day and be like, you know, I got some pride in what I made today. I guarantee you that's gonna make a couple of kids laugh, and I get it. Trust me, I know. I am probably not the target audience for this show, nor may I never have been at all, even when I was a child. I just don't understand how you can make something and just think that it could be funny when it has really nothing good going on. The episode Brain Freeze has a 7.9 on IMDb, and the first thing that I immediately noticed when I'm watching this is I completely understand why I never really gave this a chance as a kid. The character designs are actually so awful. The world is ugly, the colors don't work, the theme song even, but going into the episode, it doesn't get you hype. It makes you think that you're going into a fever dream nightmare where, I don't know, maybe a big old Jeffrey Epstein is gonna come and touch you as you're a little child. It doesn't get you excited. It doesn't make me feel good. It genuinely feels like Jimmy Neutron, like that's what they were going for when they were coming up with the animation style for this, but it feels like the Jimmy Neutron creators, they were on crack, ayahuasca, LSD, everything you could imagine when creating this show. And it just makes you want to throw up a little bit. That's the first thing I'm getting watching this first episode, but as we go on, I thought, okay, you know, maybe it's gonna be so bad that it's actually funny. And it's not. I barely remember the episode and I just watched it, so you could tell that that's already a problem. But so there's this brand new Freezy Freeze, like Slurpee flavor, it's called Atomic Red, and Fanboy and Chum Chum, they get in there, they're rolling out the red carpet, they're so excited to taste this brand new Slurpee flavor. They get there and they taste it and oh my god, it's awful, they can't handle it, which leads to a chase scene with this random agent guy and this Chim Chom machine that comes to life to help Fanboy and Chum Chum to chase down this like creature that was living inside of the Slurpee machine. It's very weird. I'm probably not getting the full picture because I haven't seen the entire show, but it's very weird. So he takes the pink thing that was making the pink flavor and they replaced it with the red flavor, so the agent is running away with it, and Fanboy and Chum Chum give chase along with this Chim Chom machine, who is kind of like, I put the cookie down. Oh, Fanboy, Chum Chum, we must get to the truck now. That's basically what he sounds like. I kind of liked him, I guess, but overall it was just whatever. So they're chasing this down. The chase scene doesn't really look that good because the world looks awful, and they eventually manage to get the guy to stop because the little pink dude slams on the brake, and then the Asian dude goes flying, and I thought he was actually dead because he just explodes.
That was the brake pedal!
And then Fanboy and Chum Chum, they see that there's the pink liquid on top, which is the liquid that they actually want, so they just take their straws and they just, and this leads to like a hangover plot, but it's still not a very interesting hangover plot. It's just I don't really know what's going on, man. I wrote like little notes for it. That's what I usually do for shows, and it It was even hard to write the notes for this, to be honest. So they wake up and their heads are hurting because they apparently partied all night, and they realize that their underwear is missing. Oh no. Oh god. Oh my god, their underwear is gone. I'm so invested in the plot at this point. And so they just randomly like hear a noise, and then all of a sudden there's like the Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings, and it reveals this weird looking wizard kid who comes out of this portal, and he's all like, oh god, guys, what did you do last night? And then we get a flashback where apparently the wizard kid was trying to get into this school, and then Fanboy and Chum Chum and this guy Boog show up, and the Chimp Chomp machine, and they're all high as hell, and they literally consume the bug dude that was trying to get the wizard guy into the school, thinking that he's cake.
Birthday cake! Oh, Professor Flan!
I genuinely feel like I'm describing a dream to you that I had. That's how weird this show is. None of it is cohesive, by the way. It's genuinely just a bunch of random nonsense that doesn't actually feel like it's going together at all. Like, I can't imagine me, even as a 4-year-old, finding this funny. If I walked in on my son watching this, if my hypothetical children, because I don't have any, but a hypothetical child, if I walked in on this, I would actually get it. Those parents who don't like SpongeBob because they think SpongeBob is annoying because they can't take a little, I get it. If I was to walk in on this and my child was all like, can you watch this with me? I would not be having a good time. I'd probably just tell them to get out of the house and go sit in the cold and think about what they've done, and then bring them on inside and have them watch regular show or something, because this is just abysmal. But they start going around looking for their underwear. They eventually end up at this convenience store, and they look at this machine, and they find out that they were inside of the machine, and the way that they figure that out is because it has natural things in it. So I'm led to believe that Fanboy and Chum Chum pissed inside of the machine, and that's why they were able to tell what it was. So that's very inviting, very exciting, a great thought. Also, do I need to mention that Fanboy and Chum Chum actually sound horrendous?
Parasite. We'll handle this, Spidey.
Yeah, and try not to miss it, cause it's gonna be brief.
I don't like their voice actors at all. Think it's not done well. And there's even certain scenes where their voices don't match up with their characters. This is supposed to be the best episode that they've ever produced, and the voices don't even match up with their characters. Mind you, this is like season 2 of the show. This show went on for 5 years, bro. What is going on? I don't know, it's hard to process. It's been a while since I've had to rant about something like this. I think the last time I truly ranted was Margaret, but man, I don't know what they were going for. Who is the audience here? Is it genuinely just for, I don't know. I can't process it. But, they eventually, like, I don't even know. I don't even understand how this happens because it's just so nonsensical. But the piss makes the machine come to life, and then the machine turns into this giant ice villain. And then I thought it was going to be a joke at first because I didn't think Fanboy and Chum Chum actually had powers, but apparently they do. Apparently they do, because they start flying around and fighting this giant ice monster, and I thought it was going to be played for laughs, like they were just really high and none of this was actually happening. I thought that was the joke, but no. Then that agent guy who died earlier just comes back, and he's all like, thank you, Fanboy and Chum Chum, for all your hard work. I really appreciate you guys. Oh, what? Why does he appreciate them? Wasn't he just trying to take away their sweet drink, and now they're being praised? I don't understand it. I don't get it. And it's all very weird. Like, it's just a very nonsensical plot, and I guess if your target audience is, like, for 1-year-olds, then I'm sure they would enjoy it. But I feel like their target audience, you know, this was airing... No, I guess it was airing around the same time as, like, Tough Puppy and all that stuff, so I guess their target audience was probably 2-year-olds. But still... Usually in these shows, I could find something to laugh at, something to admire, something to enjoy, but it's just all slop. This entire episode was nothing but slop, and that's why I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. Their best episode that they ever produced, the highest rated episode, is a 2 out of 10. That is insane. That is something I can't even fathom. And I'm gonna go on to the next best episode just so that we could hopefully stay on a high note, but boy oh boy. We are not starting off strong, and I am terrified for when I review the worst episodes. Going into the next best episode of Fanboy and Chum Chum, it's just crazy that I'm even using the word best. With a 7.6 rating on IMDb, it is the episode Attack of the Clones. And I was optimistic going into this because at least it's not a 22-minute special, and I don't have to spend an extra 11 minutes just with nonsense. Usually when a show has a 22-minute special, it's because they want to use the time to flesh out the plot to give you something interesting. That did not happen in the episode Brain Freeze. It just felt like they added so much fluff that didn't need to be there, just to make you suffer a little bit more. So, going into this episode, I was a little bit optimistic. I was like, okay, it's just 11 minutes. I could get through this. Usually, I never think like that when I'm watching any kind of show, because usually there's something to keep me captivated, a joke, anything. No. I like how the first thing that I wrote down when I was taking my notes on this was these designs are actually disgusting, and that's because we open with them at school and it shows all of the school children, and I don't know, something about them just doesn't really look good to me. They look like they've been through Chernobyl about 3 or 4 times, and this is what we got. Like, genuinely, just look at all these designs for a minute. I mean, we have Jeff the Killer over here. We got String Bean, Humpty Dumpty if he had a great fall and then got put back together again. The principal, who on his own looks like an Eldritch horror. I don't know, this girl looks okay, I guess. She looks a little bit moody. Gorlock Pigtails over here. And then there's little Chum Chum, who again, I don't even like his design. He looks like an obese monkey that somebody was overfeeding for days. Why do they all look so wrong? Just everything about them is so wrong, and I don't know why the creators thought that this would be appealing for children to look at. They look like they're gonna haunt my dreams, and I'm never gonna be able to wake up. I wouldn't be surprised if this big kid, this big round kid, was a sleep paralysis demon, and some of them, they even look like penises. So what am I getting out of this? I don't know. Either way, the plot is all about how Fanboy, he didn't do good on his science project, and then this weird-ass principal shows up, and he eats the, like, gum that was on his hand or whatever.
Microscopic people in the palm of my hand! Huh?
That was really weird. And then Chum Chum has a cloning device, so he clones Fanboy and Chum Chum so that Fanboy and Chum Chum can send attention for the real Fanboy and Chum Chum. And oh man, I really don't like Fanboy and Chum Chum as main characters. I don't think there's anything appealing. Like, not only is the voice acting bad, but they're just so unbelievably dumb, not in a good way, that there's nothing that makes them interesting, or funny, or hilarious. And better yet, there's no real character in this show that I can relate to or understand the struggle of, because they're all so unbelievably weird in such a bad way. But either way, the clones realize that this isn't the life that they want to be living. They don't want to be in attention, and they go to the convenience store during free Freezy Freeze Day. Oh boy! And they have their Freezy Freeze, and they realize that this is the good life. And then they decide, because they can only have one per person, to keep cloning themselves over and over again. But when you clone yourself, they become more and more dumb.
Hey, Lenny! Hey, Lenny!
Yep.
But now I have to listen to 20 of them all do this obnoxious stuff. So the real Fanboy and Chum Chum come, and they see all of these clones, and they're like, I thought we told you not to make clones! And then they're all hiding behind each other, which is weird because a second ago they all had deformities, but now they don't have deformities. And then Fanboy and Chum Chum are revealed that they all have a bunch of clones, and then all the clones, for no reason, just turn into zombies. Okay. That was really cool. And then we're at the convenience store, and this guy Boog, who genuinely looks like a giant sausage penis, but I think his voice is a little bit funny, so I actually kind of like him.
I catch your little birdies for you, but it ain't gonna be easy.
He's the first character that I was even remotely like, I kind of like this guy. Hasn't made me laugh yet. Haven't laughed once while watching the show yet. Again, I get it. I'm probably not the target audience, especially being a 20-year-old, but even as a kid, I don't think I would ever turn the show on again. So, Boog is ready with all these Boog weapons to bop people, not like the Bop House with the horrendous people who want to sell their bodies. The Bop's just where you punch people. Yeah, okay, cool. So they just go around punching all the evil Fanboy and Chum Chums. Visually, not appealing, not stunning, nothing really getting me excited here, but they defeat them all. Yippee! And then the first Fanboy and Chum Chum clones who were like slightly smarter than each other just kill themselves because they don't want to clean a car. Yay! That's the episode, everybody. I hope you're just so entranced in this video because I'm describing it so well. It's all like a fever dream. It's even hard to talk about, and I just watched it. That's what's so weird about it. It's just such a bad show. I can't believe it. I'm giving this episode a 3 out of 10. I think it's more enjoyable than the Brain Freeze episode, but solely because it was way less time, and I feel like it was a more condensed plot into what they actually wanted to show, what they actually wanted to do. And I mean, I could see... No, I actually can't. I was going to say maybe as a 4-year-old I could find some of this enjoyable, but I just don't think that's true. I don't think that's real, and it was a very bad episode. So for the best episode to be this bad, it is just... Oh, it's so downhill from here, man. So after watching the best episodes in the series, all my hopes for the worst episodes to be even remotely good were just shattered completely. I had no willpower to go into this, I had no desire, and it's so weird when you're watching a show for your fist to actually ball up with rage just because of how bad something is. Like, yeah, when I'm watching a regular show, I hate Margaret. Not a fan of her plotline, I don't really like what's going on with that, but I never actually felt like real rage, you know? Like, I could get angry about it, I could get pumped up about it, I could rant about it for 30 minutes, but, dude, I was getting actually upset watching this. The episode is called Cold War, and it has a 4.4 rating on IMDb. Do you know how bad something has to be to get that low of a rating on IMDb? That means the majority of people watching this had to go on the site and rate it so poorly that it just shot way down. The majority of shows that will have a bad episode, unless you're like Teen Titans Go, where just almost every single episode is a 4, will have their lowest episode at a 6. This one is at a 4.4, and I can completely see why. There is nothing good about this. What am I supposed to like? The episode is all about them getting sick, and unlike other sick episodes where there's a goal to it, for example, Clarence, where Clarence gets really sick, but the main goal is horror, so you're kind of expecting it to be a little bit gross, but they're actually playing it for comedy because they have a goal with it. Here, it's just random nonsense where they're sick, but it's not actually achieving anything. Fanboy and Chum Chum play in the rain, they get sick instantly, and they go back to their house, and just for 3 minutes, nothing is really happening, other than them just being like, what did we do? Well, Fanboy is just constantly doing this, and just constantly getting it all over his body.
I'm gonna write that no good Mother Nature such a letter.
And it was making me angry, it was making me upset, and I wasn't about it. And as the episode continues, I'm just hoping like, okay, maybe something will get better. And then they start like getting angry at each other and sneezing on each other, and they just show it in full detail, just the spray going at each other.
That on purpose.
Nuh-uh. If I'd have done it on purpose, I would have done this.
God, what could I ask for in better in television? Like, what is with a bunch of studios considering gross out humor as being hilarious as a kid? Because I can't really imagine a single kid who would laugh at just nose spray being funneled at a person. I don't really get the joke there. And again, I'm just thinking like, oh man, I can't wait to go and work on Fanboy and Chum Chum. I wonder what I get to animate today. Oh, Fanboy sneezing all over Chum Chum in great detail? Yay! No, dude, it's just not... It's not what I need in my life, and I really regret giving the show a chance. But either way, the episode continues. That wizard guy, Kyle, shows up, and he's like, oh, there's acid rain outside. Oh my god, you guys gotta help me, please. And then they start arguing over who is going to be his best friend, and then they just do a bunch of best friends things. And the most predictable plot ever, to where, oh my gosh, we realize that Kyle is actually not very cool and we want to be best friends with each other again. Yay! And then they play this shenanigans game where, again, it doesn't really make any sense. And I don't know, I've said it probably 3 times now, but the show is just a fever dream nightmare, and I don't understand what's happening the majority of the time because it's just so incoherent and nothing makes sense. I don't like it, and I don't understand what's happening. But either way, this episode is clearly a 1 out of 10. There was nothing good about it. Not a single joke landed. Not a single character moment was even remotely interesting. It had abysmal gross out humor, which could you even really call it humor? It's genuinely just people sneezing on each other. Like, imagine walking into like an elderly folks home and you're just sitting there and you're watching two old people just go achoo, achoo, achoo. Yeah, that's all it is. Are you gonna be laughing? I don't know, maybe you will. I had one person comment that Fanboy and Chum Chum was like the source of all their comedy in life. Boy, oh boy, do I feel bad for you. Maybe you should check out season 1 of SpongeBob. Better yet, regular show. Better yet, anything else, really. Anything else. Any form of media where there is a competent adult trying to tell a joke for everyone to enjoy, or even a joke in general, because a joke is something that, you know, anybody could really laugh at because it's a joke, you know? There could be something beautiful in it, no matter who you are. But they're not telling jokes here. It's just nonsense. It's like they're not even actually trying to write something to be funny. The next worst episode, also with a 4.4 on IMDb, is Fanboy in Plastic, oh my god, I'm already forgetting the name. Fanboy in Plastic Bubble. Oh boy, oh boy. Wow, how can we make Fanboy and Chum Chum two characters who are just so full of passion, so much drive, full of comedy force? How can we make them even more entertaining? Let's put them in a plastic bubble for an entire episode! Yay! Oh golly gee, I can't believe I'm so excited to watch Fanboy and Chum Chum be in a bubble the entire time. It's just great. So Boog, this guy that I said looks like a penis, he really does. He's having a garage sale and he's selling his bubble, which he used to live in because he was allergic to air. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And Fanboy and Chum Chum, they buy it, spend lots of money, and they're just going around having a good time, I guess. It's just okay. None of it's really that interesting. I honestly find it pretty boring, but I could see the charm in it, you know, they're just doing silly shenanigans, and they eventually go into the convenience store once again in the bubble, and they're trying to drink the Freezy Freeze Slurpees, and this goes on for so long. Like, it genuinely sometimes feels like they're just trying to kill time. I really feel like that's their main goal here, because like for a solid 2.5 minutes they're trying to drink these Freezy Freeze, and it's just not entertaining at all. It's just them being too dumb to understand that they need to get out of the bubble, and then a bunch of shenanigans happens to where they start bouncing everywhere. They bounce and hit Boog, and all of his money goes into this fryer, and it gets burnt.
My greenbacks!
And so now he lost all of his money, and because he's the bully character, I'm supposed to hate him and be on Fanboy and Chum Chum's side, but I never really am. They try to paint him as the villain in this episode, and I'm like, bro, they just destroyed all of your money. I kind of want to see Fanboy and Chum Chum get hurt. I mean, not only because Fanboy and Chum Chum are some of the most annoying characters I've ever seen, I just want to see them get hurt in general. I really do. And so Boog, he's trying to punch it, but he can't because it's a bubble, and he just keeps on pounding it, and nothing really works. And so he eventually camps out overnight, waiting for them to get out, and they do eventually, and then Boog, like, is waiting at nighttime to attack them. Great. And he fails, obviously, and then he starts faking an allergy attack. That was very weird, but also very interesting to get in the bubble with them. And
Get in the bubble before my face explodes!
Quick, Chum Chum, let the man in!
And then they use helium, which honestly they should have died from, but they start just inhaling helium and they get out of the bubble, and then Boog floats all the way up in the air. Wow, that was great and interesting, and wow, such a development, interesting plot, I guess. I don't know. Overall, I would just say this one is very boring. There was nothing really that made me hate it in particular. It's just a very boring episode. There's just nothing to keep you interested the entire time. Again, it feels like they're just trying to waste time. Like, they have so much time at the beginning with the garage sale, and then they're running around in the bubble doing a bunch of shenanigans for a while, and then they're trying to drink a Freezy for so long, and then they're sitting in the bubble while Boog can't hurt them for so long, and then the end of the episode, it picks it up a little bit, but again, it's still just not very interesting, at least to me. I don't know. I'm gonna give this one a 2 out of 10. There's just nothing good about this one. Again, it's just not a good time at all. Alright, so we're going into the random category. These are episodes that I just picked at random, just strolling, and I found them, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at because it helps me get a full look at the show instead of just looking at the best and the worst. What about the average episodes? The first one we're going to be taking a look at is Game Boy, and this one focuses on Boog and his obsession with Chimp Chomp, this like little arcade machine that was alive in the Brain Freeze episode, but isn't alive here. I don't really understand that. I'm not going to dive deep into it, but either way, he's obsessed with it. He's kind of treating it like it's his woman, like, oh baby, I'm gonna keep playing you, oh yeah. And so he leaves to take a break, and that's when Fanboy and Chum Chum start playing the game, and they press this button that says release monkey, and it actually releases a full-on monkey, which was very interesting. Who put the monkey in there? I actually think this plotline had a decent enough opening to get me interested, and then it just kind of goes a little cattywampus here, but it's okay, I guess. So Fanboy and Chum Chum, realizing that they've released the monkey that is a part of the game, they now have to try to keep Boog away from it to make sure that he doesn't see that they messed up his game, or he's going to bop them into oblivion. Oh, they don't want to get bopped. Oh, God. So they're trying to distract him the best they can, and it eventually leads to Chum Chum getting inside of the game and going home with Boog because Boog wants to do dirty, nasty things to Chimp Chomp, so he brings it home with him.
Alone at last. Oh, Chimp Chomp, how I've waited to hear your sweet voice.
Yeah, that was very, very interesting. I like how in one of my notes, I sometimes glance over to my notes for these episodes, especially with shows that I just started watching because I have a trouble remembering what's going on. I wrote, are these even jokes for kids, man? Because it's just that bad. I can't imagine anybody laughing at anything that's going on. So he eventually takes it home, and Fanboy has to try to get into the apartment. He tries on a bunch of different outfits. I thought that part of the episode was just okay. He eventually semi-convinces him, and Chum Chum starts talking, and this makes Boog be like, oh my god, Chimp Chomp, you're alive, baby. Oh, I've been talking to you for so long, but now we can truly be together. He's super excited. And apparently there's this other character who works at the convenience store. I don't really know his name, but apparently it was his apartment that they were in, and Boog moved in and moved everything that he owned into a closet. And we actually got my first laugh in the entire series, where he's like talking about doing dirty things to Chimp Chomp, and he's like talking to the other convenience store worker, and he's all like, I'm padlocking you in tonight.
Oh, that reminds me, I'm padlocking you in tonight. I got company. What if I gotta go to the bathroom? That's what the crisper's for.
I don't know, I thought that was funny. That actually gave me a little bit of chuckle. Not like a full-on laugh, but hey, at least I found something in life to enjoy. So yeah, and then he finds out that Chum Chum is actually inside the machine because Fanboy was playing on it, and then he wants to kill them, and then they see a release monkey button on the TV, press it, and then Chimp Chomp attacks Boog. So yeah, again, just incoherent nonsense, nothing really worth your time to follow, because what even are you following to begin with? It's just a bunch of random stuff. I guess I liked Boog being this guy that would really wanted to have sex with an arcade machine. That was kind of funny. I actually got a laugh in this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 4 out of 10. Surprisingly, that's my best rating so far, which is wild to me, that a 4 out of 10 is the best I could give this show. But yeah, so middle of the road, didn't do me too dirty. And the final episode that we're going to be taking a look at today is the episode Crib Notes. And I cannot make this up, I swear to you, I picked this at random, but of course, the one episode that I pick at random is a baby episode. A episode where, for some reason, a bunch of different creators of a bunch of different shows have this obsession with, oh, what if we take one of the characters who is of age and turn them into a baby, and then have two other characters look after their friend who is now a baby and do horrendous things to them? I don't understand the desire for this plotline. Don't get it, don't enjoy it, don't want it, never want to see it, but yet it always continues to follow me wherever I go. So of course, the episode is the wizard guy wants to get all these questions right on this test, and so he decides to use Crib Notes, which turns him into a baby, and he has to take a nap in order to actually get the answers to the quiz. And this literally turns him into a baby.
Oh, what's wrong, baby Kyle?
I don't know. It seems I'm not sufficiently fatigued.
So now Fanboy and Chum Chum have to look after him, and what's better than two really annoying characters looking after a little baby? And the thing that makes it even worse is, like, usually when they turn a character into a baby, they actually act like a baby. He's still able to talk and he's still himself, but they're treating him like a baby, which makes it oddly even more unenjoyable. I don't know, just I'm not really a fan of these kind of plots. I don't get it. They're always the worst kind of thing. And so Fanboy and Chum Chum, they try to get him to go to bed, and then they start juggling him because he wants food or something. They crash a plane at him. They start playing really loud rock music, and he eventually falls asleep, and then he wakes up and he knows all the answers to the test, but he fails because he didn't use a number 2 wand. Are you understanding just how hilarious this show can be? It's just such a jolly good show. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, Lord. It's just so funny. It's so funny and great, and I'm so happy that I spent an hour and 10 minutes of my life just watching the show, which, yeah, it doesn't sound like that bad of a time, but I challenge you, go and watch these same episodes that I just watched. Better yet, just randomly click them. Randomly click on some of these episodes and just try to get through them, try to enjoy them, and if you actually enjoy any of these, I would love to know why. Crib Notes is getting a 1 out of 10. There is nothing redeemable about this episode, nothing funny about it, nothing good is going on. So is Fanboy and Chum Chum actually awful? Well, the animation is horrible, something that's going to haunt my dreams for a long time. The character voice acting is horrendous. Nothing really gets me laughing or enjoying any of the voices. For such a mystical, magical world, you would think they would have some crazy voice acting going on, but I only really liked Boog. That was like the only guy that I thought had decent voice acting, so that was already a turnoff. The stories are all so incoherent and always feel like they're leading to nowhere, or they're just wasting time, not actually getting to the brunt of anything. Like, genuinely, there's just 3-minute segments where nothing is happening, where they're just wasting so much time trying to get to nowhere. Like, I don't want to watch Fanboy and Chum Chum struggle to get out of their bubble to get a freezy freeze for 4 minutes. I really don't, because I don't care. All of these episodes were actually so bad. So if you do like Fanboy and Chum Chum, if you're a Fanboy and Chum Chum supporter, please tell me why. Tell me why this is the most hilarious show ever. And if you're gonna go in the comments and be like, well, clearly, Kalos, you're not the target audience, so you don't really have a say here. Well, I don't care. I could watch so many different other cartoons where there's at least competent jokes, or they're actually telling jokes in general. All of the show was just incoherent, gibberish, blabbering, nonsense, and I would not recommend this show to anybody. Fanboy and Chum Chum is one of the worst shows that I have ever seen.